1 p.m. So, welcome everybody, wherever it is you are in the world that you're joining us. We appreciate that you're able to join us for this Amazon Masterclass session. So, without further ado and no waste of your time, uh, I would suggest everyone get your pen and papers so that we can get the party started, like one of my senior colleagues would say. All right, so let me load up this so that I can share my screen and we get started. Now, the basis of what we're going to cover today is actually what will determine whether you fail or succeed uh, in the Amazon landscape. So you fail at this, you most likely fail at the whole entire concept of Amazon KDP. Um, it's easy for everyone to. Uh, I've gotten a lot of feedback. I've been in Amazon. I've been doing it for the past weeks. I've been doing it for the past months, and I've not gotten any success. Uh, that will indicate that you've been wrongly informed. Uh, Amazon KDP, as much as it can give you instant revenue, also, the truth of the matter is it takes lots of work. It is work. So, um, if you're not going to do the work, if you're not going to do the job, if you're not going to be committed to this, sorry, you're in the wrong business. If anyone tells you, it's easy for me to start flashing up some of my screen and telling you I've made $1,000 in one day, I've made $5,000 in a week. Uh, that's not the purpose to why we are here. And I would not tell you that. I've been into tech literally for over a decade. Uh, so I would only tell you, oh, okay, I've been able to do this, and the reason why I've been able to have success with it is because of other additional things that people don't tell you. So when you go online and everyone says make $1,000 from KDP in a day, in a week, a whole lot of things goes behind the scene to make that happen. So those things that actually go behind the scene to make it happen are the things that I'm going to try and cover for us today so that you're successful in your KDP ambition, in your online strategy, in your online success. You can take all the stuff we're going to talk about today and adapt it to a whole lot of other things, and you will be successful at it. But when particularly it comes to KDP, which is what we're going to be narrowing down this 4 Saturdays, our target is going to be strictly on KDP. Um, if you fail at this very first things that we're going to be talking about today, you most likely struggle with the KDP landscape or completely. So, um, welcome for all those joining us. I can see people joining us from Canada. I can see some from okay, US, UK. Well, the list goes on. So, thank you for joining us. Interesting. We have people from South Africa, Ghana. Mm, okay, this is nice. All right, so let's get down to business. So please, after this class, would also make the study materials for this, which is actually not one of those things I do. I would make the study materials for this class available online. So we will share it in the Telegram group so that you can follow it and get to the actual page of it on the site and be able to go over it again. But it's important that you understand this whole entire concept so that you do not struggle at it. So, without further ado, let's get started. Uh, let's get down to Amazon KDP. All right. So, I believe I don't need to lecture anybody on what is Amazon KDP. It's the Amazon platform for creating books and all the rest of them. And I want to believe everyone can see my screen. If you're not able to see my screen, please let me know. If you can see my screen, can I have some people in the house indicate they are able to see my screen? want to believe everyone can see my screen, please. Can someone? Okay, all right. Someone just indicated. All right, so good. Now, um, yes, as a statement of fact, you can make thousands of dollars from Amazon KDP on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, but this comes with work. If you do not do the work, you will not get result. So please understand that this is work. And the first thing in Amazon KDP and in so many aspects of online presence that you want to do, the first thing you will want to pay attention is actually choosing a niche. And choosing a niche is it's easy at the same time people find it a little bit complicated, or better still is not explained in such a way that everyone easily understands. So what it is to choose a niche, uh, a niche can be simply said to be that area of spare, that level of since we're talking about KDP, that level of books, that level of content that you find easy or you understand, or when something is being said in that area, you have a good grasp of what actually they're talking about. You're able to speak their language. So when we're talking about a niche, we imply things around, say, I'm into fashion. So if I'm into fashion, I'll be talking about things around the the terminologies they use in fashion field and all the rest of them. But if I'm discussing that and I'm talking to someone who is a medical line, I'm actually going to be saying a lot of things that they do not understand. So in order to avoid confusion and you talking about what you necessarily don't know about, it's important that you understand the niche that you're going into. Yes, fine. Pretty much for you to have a niche is important that you understand what are you passionate about. What's that thing that really drives you? What's that thing that tickles your fancy? What's that thing that interests you? What's that thing that you want to know about that uh, gets you happy every day? What's that interesting thing that you want that effortlessly you're drawn to? It's something that excites you. Um, but of course, I would say when it comes to your passion and when it comes to the era of content creation generally and KDP with specifics, do not just get into something because you're passionate about it. Get into it because you're knowledgeable about it, because you have some level of knowledge, which is the second thing you're saying here, which is actually you have some level of expertise. Expertise does not mean you need to be a professor in this field of study. It simply means possess some level of knowledge, some level of comfortable speaking around that space. That will help. Then, of course, the third thing here is that your passion, that trend, that thing that you have an expertise on? Is it actually popular on Amazon KDP? Are people interested in it? Do people really want content around that kind of stuff? And most importantly, I said that, do people really want content around it? Uh, is it profitable? Are people making money? I've seen a lot of people creating content, and in order to be able to draw traction to your content, you list out your materials, your books, and all the rest of them, and you list them out as zero, free, no cost, because you're trying to do low content books, as the case may be, and stuff like that, so that you're able to draw traction to yourself. You're only going to frustrate yourself if that is the approach you're taking to KDP business. Uh, do not go into any niche because it is people might be getting tons of views into it. They might be getting a lot of readability into it, but are people actually putting down money into this niche, which is some of all the things we're going to research on and actually see how to identify, is a niche profitable? Is a niche important? Are people really going into this niche? Are people spending money in this niche? If people are not spending money in the niche, if you publish 100 books in that niche, sorry, you're wasting your time. You're not going to make money. And also understand that in whatsoever niche you're getting yourself into, you are not the only person creating content for that niche. So many people are creating content for that niche, and you need to find a way to stand out in your content creation endeavor. And this takes a whole lot with respect to doing it right. I hope I'm able to carry the house along with respect to this. Okay, so the next thing that I'll be diving into is with respect to hold on a minute. Okay, no problem. I've seen your message. Okay, so yes, also when it comes to respect to choosing a niche, you need to understand that how unique is that niche? What's unique? What makes the niche stands out? Um, which is actually also dovetail back to one of the points I've made earlier. What makes this niche interesting to people? What stands it out? And of course, I will tell you that nobody, in my own opinion, nobody should even be able to succeed more in content creation when it comes to Amazon better than Africa. Reason why I made bold to say that is Africa has the story. Africa has we're good storytellers. We have it at our very core. It's inherently wired into what we do. And particularly to Nigeria, we've got the story. We've got the history. We've got the the culture. Now, these are things that makes content creation beautiful, that makes content creation excellent. Um, so leveraging over this inherent ability is one thing you can actually take advantage of. Then, of course, the next thing is what type of books are actually selling. You need to know, oh, okay, fine. I want to write a book on fashion. I want to write a book on music or entertainment. Uh, I want to write a book on spirituality. I want to write a book on uh, dogs. I want to write a book on marriage. I want to write a book on relationship. Are those books, is that niche, is it actually trending on Amazon KDP? Are people actually buying content around that? If people are not buying content around that, in fact, in one of the other Telegram groups that we have, yes, in my closed group, which is a paid group, however, anyway, um, some new people that will often join will ask the question, I've been publishing books, I've had 10 books, I've had 50 books, and all the rest of them, but I've not been able to make one sales. Sorry, you're not making sales, and most often than not, when we drill it down, it often comes down to you're writing content in a niche where nobody is really interested in, or the number of people interested in that niche are not much. And even the few ones that are there are actually not paying for the content in that niche. So it's a perfect recipe for a wonderful disaster. So you're only frustrating yourself the more. Then, of course, with respect to your niche that you're trying to create content on, what is your overall marketing strategy? How do you want to get your content out there when you create this content? How? What is your plan? How do you want to get it out there? Along with that is what is the budget? When I say the budget here, I'm implying to things around what is your marketing costs like? Um, it is a misrepresentation that people have that often gives this misguided thing you will hear on the online platform. Just create a book right now, publish it on Amazon, and you start making money. Please, can I be honest with you? That is actually not the way it works. You don't just wake up one morning, go online, create a book, publish it, and you start making money. That's not the way it works. It is easy for someone who has been in that industry to tell you such a statement because of so many things that they have, which I'm going to expose to you, that you will see, which is the major reason as to why you will hear those bold claims, and they will show you. But behind the scene, so many things are responsible for their success that you're actually not seeing. And it's only important that before people get frustrated with all these endeavors of getting paid with Amazon KDP, it's only important that, yes, fine, bring that to your notice. And of course, most importantly, one other thing I would say here is you need, I know a lot of people don't want to hear this. This is what people don't want to hear a large chunk of time when I talk about this. You need to be focused. You need to be committed. You need to be dedicated. If you do not have a focus, if you're not committed, if you're not dedicated to this, sorry, you're not going to get success. It is just that simple. I'm not here to come and paint bed of roses for you. I do tech, and I can tell you within the course of a day, uh, 24 hours in a day, I will tell you no less than 15 hours of those of that day is what I spend on my online business, is what I spend on the internet, trying to develop my skill set, trying to improve my capacity, trying to do one thing or the other. Every passing day, you need to make sure that, yes, fine, you're giving attention to what you're doing. Otherwise, sorry, this is not your field. If you do not pay attention to this, if you do not give it your passion, if you do not give it your commitment, you will be frustrated out of this. You won't get result. And if you're here for result, then you need to understand that this is the rule of the game and this is how it play. Focus, commitment, and discipline is the rule of the game. You need to make sure that every day you're doing something that will eventually lead you to your success land. And this is how we end the part of choosing your niche in Amazon KDP. But clear with it, understand it. Also, we already talked about the online community forum. Feel free to join it. If you have any challenge, we'll be more than willing to support you to help you through. So, if you have whatever your journey is, I would want to know what your journey is with respect to Amazon KDP. Are you just starting? Have you already started? Have you published a book? Have you not published a book? Are you, whatever that your journey is, whatever stage you are in your journey, I would want you to reach out. I would want to know, so that, yes, fine, I can see how best to be able to help you achieve your goal, so that you're able to, at least, let me put it this way, make your first sale on online, and see what it takes to actually make money selling Amazon KDP. So the next thing we're going to be talking about is how actually, for you, you've picked your niche, uh, which I want to believe some people here already have, some people are already writing, some people have already started, so they understand the concept of you picking your niche and all the rest of them. This might be boring to them, but please, in as much as this might sound boring to you, to some other people in the house, this might be needed. So that's why I've decided to go from this angle, and that's why this masterclass series is called Amazon KDP, beginning to the end. We will try as much as possible not to leave any stone unturned. We're going to go from the scratch and all the way to the pro level so that you are able to succeed. And of course, the goal at the end of all this whole entire section is to ensure that, yes, fine, you're able to make your sales. And if you're already selling, you'll be able to double those sales. That's the goal with this class. So now the next thing we're going to be talking about is you actually doing research with your Amazon KDP. How do you do research? Do research for your words that you should write, do competition research, and know what your competitors are writing about so that it will further reinforce what it is you want to write about. The content you want to create, is anybody interested in it? One of the easiest way to find out if anyone is interested in it is, are people writing any content about it? I'm going to show us all these things in practicality, But of course, it's only important that we understand the rudiment of it, otherwise, you will struggle with it. If you've been in Amazon KDP and you're struggling with one thing or the other, I can guarantee you is a baseline regarding some of all those things that we're talking about here. And so, uh, do correct and effective competition research. Who are the other people in your field who have written books, who have written content, journals, and what have you in the same space that you're trying to write? Those people that have written those things, what does their content looks like? What is the size of their book? How many pages does it have? What kind of cover are they having? How much is the book being sold for? What category is their book? What is the nature of the description they have? Understanding all those basic metrics is one of the things that can help you reinforce your view with respect to competition research to help you know if what you want to write about is actually meaningful, or if someone is actually searching for it, if people are actually looking for it, and if people are actually paying for those content, which is very critical. Fail at this and you will most likely struggle with Amazon KDP. This is very, very, very important. And when we're also talking about research, competition research, please let me be clear. It is not about scraping your competitors' content. No. You will have Amazon ban your account. You will lose your account. All the work will be in waste. So, can you not waste your time, effort, and resources by you going online and scraping anybody's content? You do not need to scrape anybody's content. You do not need to copy anybody's content. However, you can look at what they have done in order to better understand what you need to do in order to give you a guide. Okay, if 50 people have written a book like this, all those books, what does their cover look like? Okay, they primarily use blue in color. They primarily have a baby in front. They primarily have a vector image in front. All these things I'm going to show us. They primarily use bold text. They use italicized text. They use forest. They use whatever it is. You need to pay attention. What is the pattern around this content that these people are creating? So that yes, fine, I can do my and also be successful at it. You need to understand this competition research. I'm going to show us how to do this effectively well, the right way, so that you can actually, like they say, ride on the shoulders of the giants. People have done it before you. You do not need to reinvent the wheel. They have been successful. Can you model success that you might be successful? So, with you doing your competition research, which is very key as regarding your Amazon KDP, you need to understand how to optimize your book for KDP. It is important that you optimize your book for KDP. Failure for you to do so, you will have challenges. You will have published that content and it will not show up on the search when people are looking for the books. And these are the things people do wrongly or do not pay critical attention to. Yes, fine. I understand a lot of people use wonderful platforms and applications such as Canva to create good cover. You need to create good covers for your book. But however, can you not create the same kind of cover that everybody is having? It leads to what is called view blindness. View blindness in cover design is if your book looks the same like every other person's own, when I'm scrolling through the Amazon store in order to buy a book, I will go past your book and actually not notice it is distinctively different from the previous one I'm looking at. So your cover design needs to be striking, needs to stand out. And of course, in the process of you creating your book, it is very, very, very important that you choose the right category for your book. And in that place where you have in the Amazon account for keywords, I would show you how to actually generate enough meaningful, relevant keywords that can better also drive traction to your book. and of course, most importantly, show you how to effectively write good book description. No matter how good the content of your book is, if the description is not clear, you will miss it. Yes, there's a general saying that will say, do not judge a book by its cover. I have a bad news for you. Readers will judge your book by its cover. They will judge your book by the abstract that the book has, which is a function of your book description. They will judge your book based on all those things that you do not want your book to be judged by. So, this is the arena where I will tell you that the digital platform can be very unforgiving. So, you need to learn to stand out. Then, of course, a lot of people make mistake when it comes to doing the Amazon KDP and optimizing their book correctly. You've published your book on the Amazon KDP and you've now left the book to Amazon alone to promote your book. Sorry, that is not how it is done. Your book, you need to syndicate your book in a lot of places, which I'm going to show us how effectively to do. And most importantly, also the platforms. I'm going to show us 10 major platforms that you best have your books on that will help increase your Amazon KDP sales and all the rest of them. Then, of course, lastly, when it comes to your KDP book optimization, is your book need to be well priced. When I say well priced, one of the strategy which I use is I'll pick the 10 highest selling books, the 10 lowest selling books, aggregate what their prices is together, find a medium in between them, and price my book based on that. My goal is not to sell the cheapest book. Sorry, I don't want to sell 100 books that cost $1. The same effort that goes into selling that kind of book is the same effort that will go into selling 10 books that cost $10. So by the time you are selling one book that costs $1, I only need to sell 10 books that cost $10 to make the same money. So at the end of the day, I will be doing far more better than you have done because I've simply chosen to take a different approach with respect to cost. And when it comes to cost, please take it off your mind of this free thing. No, you could have an abstract or let me put it this way, a lean book, which is maybe just like an attraction book or something like that, that you could say, okay, so this is free because you want everybody to have a feel of what you create content like, so that that can draw people's attention to your other books and not dwell yourself into your books that you've spent time, effort, and resource into being free. Better still, create a good book, a great book. And I would explain to us what actually it means when you say create a great book. So that is key. Now, creating a professional cover for your book cannot be overemphasized. Do not even see, it's the rule of the game. People online would only stop scrolling when they see something that catches their attention. So, um, it's important that when you're making your book cover, get high resolution images. Um, Make sure that you're using good quality image and the copy, the statement, the way you've written uh, your book cover, which we're going to go into, is distinctive, is different. When you go into Amazon, when you go into the Amazon space and you're trying to write your book in whatever niche that you're trying to write, look at the on the first page, just look at the first 30 books. Look at what is common to them and look at what will be the color that will be in between all these books that are here that will stand my book out. What will be the image that I can put that when anybody is searching through this set of books, my content will automatically stand out because I have adopted a different approach with respect to that. So that is key to when it comes to your cover design. Your cover design is critical. It can make or break your Amazon book. I've seen a lot of people that said I've made Amazon books and all the rest of them and what have you, and it has not sold. And when I go into the niche as to which they published the book, I shake my head and this is not it. If you do this way, remember what I said earlier of view blindness. People are inside that category, but they're actually not seeing your book because it doesn't look any unique. Nothing stands it out. Uh, don't use crappy images. It doesn't work. I'll show you how to get high quality free images that you also don't violate any policy with respect to. And yes, fine. So let's get into the one of the other things that also make Amazon KDP publishers fail online, which is one statement that is not well defined online. I, while I was working on the documentation for this training, I was looking online, looking at so many colleagues and professionals and people that often talk about KDP, and this very next statement makes me laugh when I hear people talk about it, which is actually writing a great book. What is it to write a great book? What makes your book great? If your book cannot, if your content, whether a low content book, whether a journal, whether it's a gaming book, whatever it is you're trying to write, if that your book cannot have these characteristics that I've laid out here, I can guarantee you without missing word, you're most likely going to struggle with Amazon KDP sales. You need to be clear and be deliberate with all those things that is here. And particularly, I need you to look at the item two, which is you actually being able to write in a way that is compelling. You need to be able to carry the readers along. And one of the things I will tell you to take a cue from is I want to believe people watch a lot of movies, a lot of series, and all the rest of them. So your assignment with today, you want to take this down. If you're in this for business, if you're in this for as a serious, if you're hoping the Amazon KDP will turn to a money generating income for you, you need to do all the assignment I'm going to be giving out to you. Take a look at in the last 1 year, what are the movies that have come out that people are glued to, and particular attention to movies that are series. A good example that I can give to us is Lord of the Ring. Lord of the Ring has like, if you've not watched it, go on YouTube and just search Lord of the Ring. You would at least get some extracts of the movie. Lord of the Ring, it's a movie that has like 3 chapters. I think four. Yeah, and for each chapters, largely, uh, the moment it finishes, everybody's looking out for the next one. A good example is also another movie that is called The Avengers. For everyone that finishes, people are looking out to watch what is the next one. Um, Game of Thrones is another. You need to be able to write in that kind of light that when someone stumbles on your, even if it is your lean book, what I call lean book, could be like a one-pager book, could be like a two-pager book or something like that. When someone reads it and you do those kind of books as a giveaway book, it automatically sends the signature of the kind of writer that you are, and everybody would want to actually read your other book. So in turn, they will buy that kind of book. Now, this is an example. Let me give you a simple storybook that I always give in my close group. Um, and so this is a book also that you can tailor around and be able to write, and it's just to help you understand what makes a great book. Now, the book we're going to write on right now is The Marriage That Fails before it started. Um, so it's a fictional book. Uh, there's this friend of mine that had his marriage fixed, and the marriage days was set and all the rest of them, and people want it became the marriage date. And on the wedding day, we were in the church, and the marriage was yet to start. And while I was standing outside, I saw the the bride coming, and I noticed my friend was displeased as he saw the bride, and I was wondering why was it displeased and all the rest of it. So he walked in. Apparently, the church service was already in proceedings, and while the bride marched on to the altar for the wedding to happen, um, interestingly, the pastor in their usual procedures said, Mr. A, will you have this woman as your lawful wedded wife to love and to hold? Yada, 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 and the story continues. Uh, okay, yeah, I think you first asked the lady the question, and the lady said, yes, I do. So he turned to the groom and said, will you have this woman as yours? And all the rest of all the talk. The young man said, no. And the whole entire church laughed. Ah! And the pastor said, young man, can you not waste our time? Let's get this over with. And the pastor repeated the statement. And he replied to the pastor right on the podium there. I said, no, I believe you can hear me the first time. And he turned right from the altar and walked out of the church auditorium. And standing in the auditorium, I looked at him and I walked and approached him. What are we missing here? What happened? And he told me, to my greatest dismay, something that made me sat down on the floor. And I was like, whoa. So, how do you resolve this? I hope everybody here is getting the drift of my story. This is in order to be able to help you create good content. So at this junction, any reader will be wondering, okay, so I'm very sure even people listening right now will be saying, okay, so what did my friend tell me that would have justified him to leave the altar telling the pastor no and having the whole entire auditorium standing in total dismay? In fact, I think at this junction, let me throw you to the house. What did you think my friend told me that got him to do that? And so let's leave this to be a open house. So you can mute yourself and give us your input. What do you think I was told? Can I have the house? Yes, Mr. Yes, please, Mr. Kane. Yeah, please go ahead. Okay. Please speak out so that the rest of the house can hear you easily. Oh, and he chose to do that on his wedding day. Okay. Okay, that's nice. All right, someone else. Okay, someone else. Someone else. Please, house. Let's have your view. What did you think I was told that would have warranted me to have sat down, and also that was a base for him having to turn down the marriage proceeding at that junction? Please let me hear your view. Yeah. Yes, please. Go ahead, Mr. Adebayo. Okay, that's one view. Someone else said that we can go ahead and I'll explain what this is. I hope everybody's getting the drift. You need to be able to write in such a way that your audience is critical. They're inquisitive. Okay, so what happened here? What did we miss? And they go back to the previous chapter and go and read it again. And they come back. Okay, wait, something is missing here. So what is it that it's missing? So someone else, please. Yes, please, Mr. Tayo. Mr. Lawali, please, let's hear you. Okay, Jessica, please, let's hear you. Hello, Jessica. If you're there, please, let's hear you.
Okay, I think that he wasn't really ready for the entire process, or maybe he was just scared, or the fright. The fright might be the major reason. That's what I think.
Okay, that's also possible. All right, someone else. Mr. Okay, I think we already took that. Okay, so someone else. Let's have the ladies in the house. Ladies first, since this is all about ladies. Okay, Kelvin, right? Yes, please. Kelvin, let's have you.
Okay, I think probably he doesn't find her attractive.
Hmm. Okay, and you have to wait for that day.
Mm, I think so.
Okay, no problem. Mr. Ibrahim. Ibrahim, let's have you.
Did something to him, and let's see, maybe she embarrassed in publicly and he's been harvesting trying to take a chance that she will disgrace her past in such a way that it will hurt her the most.
Hmm. Okay. Now I think I'm liking this. Now, most importantly, I hope everybody is getting what we're doing with this book. We've created a kind of line that, okay, so if you stop the book at this junction, everybody like, who is this terrible writer? Why would you? So what happened to the whole entire thing? Did the wedding hold? Didn't it hold? What happened? Everybody wants to see the next thing that happened. Okay, so the book ended that this way. Unfortunately, um, this is what happened. On a flashback, the groom, while he was standing, noticed who dropped the bride, and happens to be the ex of the bride that drove the vehicle that the bride was in. And the moment he noticed, he went into the house of worship in order to, he was just pissed off. Now, the previous night, his junior brother had told him that you need to come and see what it is I'm seeing. So he took a ride there and went to see what the junior brother had reported. And apparently, he saw his supposed wife to be uh, in another hotel making out with his ex. And the ex was the one that also dropped her offering in church the next day for the wedding. So interestingly, I'm very sure if you're the okay, so if you're the man in this case, or if we turn it around and say if you're the lady in this case, I'm very sure. I'm wondering what your view of the marriage will be, and of course, this is creating a context around a story for a book that you will write that will get everyone wanting to see. Okay, so what happens in the next episode? what is in the next chapter of this book? You need to be able to draw out curiosity in the mind of your reader. You need to make it that okay, those raising their hands, is it that you have questions? Jessica.
No, no.
Okay, it's all right. Okay, so please, if you have a question, just let me know. All right, so if you're not able to create this level of transposing your audience from where they are into your own fantasy world and create characters and view and perspective, nobody will be interested in reading your book. So your first, your the abstract of your book needs to be very engaging, needs to be attention drawn, and it needs to be your own story, tweeted in your own way. And just like I said earlier, please and please and please do not, do not under any circumstances whatsoever uh scrape anybody's book. You will lose your Amazon account. Your glory of success will be short-lived. Then, of course, please do not go to those places I've seen some people do and they frustrate themselves with it, which is all those PLR sites where you have private label right, where you can get to get a whole entire book and all the rest of them. I would say if you are in those places, look at those things just to get ideas. Look at the topics, look at the titles, look at the table of content, to get an idea and create your own content, create your own concept around what it is you want to write so that you do better with your content creation, so that you don't struggle with it. These are some of all the things that people overlook, that at the end of the day, you publish your content and it's seated in the Amazon shelf with little to no success, if any success at all. You need to be able to draw emotions. You need to be able to get people's curiosity sparked, so that yes, fine, you're able to do excellently well in the landscape of content creation. I hope I'm able to carry everyone along. So, the next thing we're going to be talking about with respect to your content creation, after you've had a wonderful storyline, wonderful characters. Yes, also, before I skip to this, when you're creating your content, you could have content created in multiple genres, as in multiple categories. Say one of the categories you create books on is romance. One of it that you create on is fictional novels. One of it that you create on is, say, health and wellness and all the rest of them. Do not create content on Amazon using the same profile in different categories. Don't. You'll be seen as an author who is a jack of all trade, who doesn't know what he or she is doing. So you could create different pen names, different profiles, different portfolios, so that your books that are meant for, say, uh, relationship is under a different pen name, profile name, a different kind of portfolio. The books that you have under, say, fictional novels is also answering to a different kind of author. The one that is answering to a different category is also answering to different kind of authors, and stuff like that. I will show you how to be able to chain it all together so that at the end of the day, there will be a signature that yes, fine, this book is coming from, is being published by this company or by this entity, but actually different authors are the ones that are publishing the book, so therefore their storylines are different and all the rest of them. You need to learn to create your wonderful story, and I've not seen anywhere in the world that has story like Africa does. In fact, sorry for the rest of those not in Africa, for those in Canada and the rest of them and what have you. For you to create content that are compelling, that will draw traction, you need to tie your content to your culture, to your immediate environment, to real life. You're not writing for robots to read. You're writing for people. It's people that are going to subscribe to your content. So you need to write what people are interested in reading about, what they would want. And your book, it's either going to do some of all these major things I'm going to talk about right now. Your book is either going to be for the pure entertainment ground of it, or for the educational ground of it, or for the motivation. Your book must serve a purpose. So when you're writing, what is the purpose to your storyline? What exactly is your content intended to do? You need to be clear with that. Otherwise, you get missed, and you even mislead your audience. With that is also the next thing we're talking about, which is you formatting your book correctly for KDP. And this is how to format your book correctly for KDP, so that as you publish the book, uh, oh, okay, some people are the waiting door. Yes, okay, okay, all right. So we've not seen your request. Join in if you have. Okay, some other people are saying they're not able to join in. Okay, so let's go on. You need to understand the best approach to formatting. Okay, all right. Okay, so well, let me get along, and some other people are trying to chat. So these are the what you need to pay attention to with respect to uh you creating your book and adequately formatting your book to be put on the KDP. So for those that are new to KDP publishing, take note of what you have displayed on your screen right now. It will help you, and of course, just like I've said, if you have any questions or anything not clear with respect to this, please do feel free to reach out so that we can help you with that. All right, so the next thing you want to do with your book is promote your book. I have said it and I'll repeat it again. Do not just publish your book and leave your book to the mercy of Amazon. Amazon, I have published the book, so therefore, show it to the 1 million people. You're wasting your time. That book is not going to get traction. So you need to understand how to promote your book, where and what strategy and method you need to use in respect to you promoting your book so that you can get traction and get better results and not just publish the book. Someone messaged me today, said the person has created a book last week and till now has not gotten one sale. And I laughed. You created a book last week and till now you've not gotten sales and you're complaining. I don't think you should be complaining. Uh, that this the way it runs. So what promotion strategy have you adopted? I have published the book. How have you promoted it? I have published the book. I asked the question, how did you promote it? You say you published the book. So you need to understand that your book needs to be promoted, which is also one of those things I call syndicating your books. You need to get it everywhere to the eyes of the people. And also, people getting to see your book is also a function of the right keywords that you've also included when you're setting up your book. And with respect to you also promoting your book, there are so many other ways you promote your book and draw traction to your book, which is also on social media. You need to learn to promote your book using social media. Uh, just like the way you will publish anything on social media is the way you copy your book model and put it on social media and draw traction back to your Amazon KDP, run paid ads and all the rest of them to your book. And of course, if you're serious about you going online, doing KDP, and eventually drawing traction to your content, in as much as you people might not want to hear it for those doing KDP publishing because you have narrowed your head into let me just publish the book, let me make the book, publish it, and put it on KDP. You need to create a blog, you need to create a site for your book. When it comes to you creating a site for your book, it is the only way Google can help you now put free organic traffic to your blog post and eventually to your book. So that, yes, fine, you do not pay money continuously for running campaigns to get sales to your book. And this is also the reason why you need to shy away from low content books that are 0 naira, that are $0. No, that is not in your interest. In as much as you could do one or two books that are lean book that you want to just simply draw traction to show people your writing style as a publisher, you need to understand that that is not sustainable. So that is key in respect to what you need to do. So, and with respect to you promoting your book, one thing is critical. Your book needs to get reviews. Your book needs to get reviews. Get reviews for your book. Reviews, reviews, reviews. The more the reviews that your book gets, when people are trying to buy books on Amazon and they pick on a certain topic or particular certain area, the first thing they try to do is what are people saying about this book? What is the public perspective concerning this book? And of course, one additional way you can get reviews for your book is there are communities, there are people that are book reviewers. You can just Google them, book reviewing community, and you post your book there. You just copy the link from your book on Amazon KDP and publish it there. I want you to take a look at this book and give me your honest review and opinions and all the rest of them. You'll be lucky to have one or two people who will be interested in the book and read it and give their own honest opinion and all the rest of them. So without reviews, you will struggle. The next thing we'll be dealing with is get involved in the Amazon KDP community. Uh, Not a lot of content creators, not a lot of publishers that I've seen are on the Amazon KDP community. You need to understand the power and the benefit of the Amazon KDP. How to access the Amazon KDP community is what I've laid out here. So that you're able to access the Amazon KDP, you can just simply Google Amazon KDP community, Kindle community. It will come up with a page and you're able to sign in with your Amazon account and join the community and see what topic people are talking about. And even there, you can get people to have a look at your book and tell their own honest opinion as regarding your book, and you partake in discussions of the forum that okay, so this is what is happening and all the rest of them. You're now more drawn along. Like for instance, if you say you do sports in Nigeria or you like watching football, I'm very sure for the men in the house and for some ladies in the house, they will most likely tell you, okay, so Chelsea is the best, or Gunners or whatever is the best, and this one and that one. If you're not involved in their community, you will not really know what's happening in the space and know what are the best approach and the things to do. So it's important that you get yourself involved into the Amazon Kindle community. Then, most importantly, just like I've mentioned, you need to lay emphasis with respect to promoting your book on social media. Don't just publish your book and leave it on Amazon KDP and hands off and waiting to get sales. Sorry, you will not get sales that way because Amazon is not seeing traffic, no engagement going to that book. So Amazon will not promote that book. It's only when Amazon sees sales to that book. Amazon is in this to make money. The moment they see sales, they'll promote your book. The moment they see traffic, they'll promote your book. They know the more of your book they promote, the more sales they make, the more money you make, and they too make money in turn. So this is critical. It's something that you need to pay attention to. It's one of the holy grail of selling your book on the Amazon KDP landscape, which is very, very, very important. Aside from promoting your book on the on social media, Amazon has a service. I want to believe for those who have been into the Amazon KDP, which is called the Amazon Marketing Service, more or less like call it Amazon own platform for ads. So you're able to like run promotion within Amazon service to be able to get traction to potential people who will read your book. You need to leverage on this. I've seen I ran the metrics about some few weeks ago, and I was seeing this very interesting search from some African countries and also particularly even Nigeria. Uh, how to make money online without spending money. Please, if that is your view, I suggest you just get out of this place because then you're not serious. when it comes to the online space, no matter how so much you think you want to spend your time to do it, you will have to spend money. However, yes, the more the time you spend, the less the money you will spend, but also the more the time it will take you to achieve your goal, your desired result. So you need to have a delicate balance in between you spending money and also you putting the time and the effort and means to be able to get this done. It is critical. So delete that orientation from your head, thinking you're going to be successful with any businesses at all online, and particularly with Amazon KDP, not until you begin to get traction, not until everybody knows this author and they're expecting you to release another book, another content. Until that point, sorry, you are not going to get sales. Now, of course, at this point, let me point your attention to some few things that so many successful people are doing when it comes to the Amazon KDP success or even success online with respect to digital sales or service. Largely, they produce the content and they push out the content and tell you, okay, after 1 week, after 1 day, I've made $100 daily, I've made $1,000 weekly. This is actually what is happening behind the scene that you most likely don't know. Behind those success that you see is no less than, okay, in fact, let me give you some numbers so that you're able to get traction, you're able to get it in concept, you understand it. For everyone that comes on, whether on a Facebook page, on a Facebook feed, on a video and all the rest of them, and tell you I made $100 daily, this is what has happened. Let me explain what has happened to you for them to have made $100 daily. That content has been, let me use the word, marketed to no less than 10,000 people. 10,000 people have seen that content for them to have successfully tell you I've made $100 relative. Now, means they published a book that is maybe sold for like say $10. They now send information concerning that book or that content to 10,000 people. The 10,000 people, have they sent it either by paid traffic, which is whether by Facebook ads or Google ads, whatever the platform you want to use, or they've already had a list of emails of people that are constantly always buying books, which is a mailing list, and they mail it to them. Look at this book, you'll find it interesting, you will find it useful. So read it. I haven't sent this content to an average of no less than about 10,000 people. An average of say 10 people now buys the content. When 10 people buy a content that is costing $10, that automatically gives you the $100 that you're seeing. So depending on the cost that it is of the content is, and the number of people they are able to reach with that content will determine how many people eventually able to buy the content. So I publish a content and I'll tell you, I just published the book, and without me doing anything, uh, is getting sales. Please, that is actually not true because it is not without me doing anything. I have done the job in time past. So therefore, now I don't need to do the job again. When I publish the book, I've sent the notification that the book has been published and this is the abstract of the book and all the rest of them. So I no longer need to do any extra work. For instance, you want to have 100 people review your book. I want to believe probably some of you listening to me right now, you possibly have gone to one school or the other, whether it's even your secondary school or something, and you have the email or the WhatsApp contacts of the of your school community or something like that, and you send the notification out. Check out the latest book I just published. No matter how bad you are, which I think you shouldn't be that bad, that at least out of 100 people that will most likely will know your name or possibly have seen you before, out of the 100 people that would see it, some 10 people will have at least tried to look at the content that you've created. Oh, okay. Out of the sheer view of it, some people will look at it, okay, she has created a book. Nice. Some will look at it and feel, oh, okay. Some will even comment. Some will not comment. However, do not be discouraged with the people that you have around you. And that is why most of the time I'll tell people, do not push out your content and push it out to even your immediate families and friends and well wishers. No, push it out far and beyond, because those are the people that don't know you, that will evaluate you from an unbiased standpoint of view, and they will look at the content you've written, and some of them will find the content very valuable and eventually would appreciate the content and put down their own ad and cash for it and all the rest of them. So with respect to whatever it is you do online, with respect to your journey to KDP, you need to understand how this works, and so that you don't keep spending money repeatedly on marketing is the reason why you need to do a website. Create a website. When you have your website to put in your books, in this case, it will not be just one book. You will have multiple books to be able to put there. Why? It is your own website. Because you've written meta description concerning your book will not be Google searchable. You can also directly from your own miniature website also get to sell your book directly. And even if you don't want to do that, you can also direct the link from your site directly to your Amazon KDP sales page. So, you having a website to sell your book gives you a lot of advantages. When you're running ads, you'll be running ads to only one book, as the case may be. Except maybe you're using solutions such as Lean, which I think we've talked about in one of our classes, but also we'll also do justice to respect to going through in this one. So, please, I hope I've been able to communicate to everybody. We respect the importance and why you need to have a website to promote your KDP book. And of course, one of the major means as to why a lot of people go online and brandish you with all the wonderful figures of they've made money you selling KDP, aside from they using paid ads, is also what I've already mentioned, which is email marketing. They have tons of people who have subscribed to their email, and one of the strategies they use that is being used is you publishing a lean book, something very catchy, something very interesting, something people will find useful, that is very short, and you tell them download the content. So in respect to they downloading it, they give you their emails, and in turn you now have their email to be able to market to them repeatedly. Okay, so I just released this book. I believe you might find it interesting and all the rest of them and what have you. The larger your mailing list is, the larger the potentials of your readers, the larger the number of people who can possibly buy your book, and the better it is that it can be for you with respect to getting results on your Amazon KDP journey. This training is also going to continue between now and the next 4 Saturdays. However, the training for tomorrow still holds. So which we're dealing with other things, but for every Saturday, we're just strictly going to be dealing with Amazon KDP. If you have challenges with respect to anything I've said, I would like to take your questions at this point so that we can go on and I can better narrow down and provide you all the necessary support that you would need. So thank you. I'll take your questions, if any. Mr. Adebayo, do you have a question? Mr. Suleiman, do you have a question? If you have a question, I'll take your question, please.
Hello?
Yes. What's your question?
My question is, I've been trying to use image in my this content, because I think as in using bunch of text sometimes it will sound somehow boring. So
Yeah.
I want to know which right way should I use the images, and what type of image am I using, and where am I going to get the images to be free from this kind of trouble or somehow.
Okay, good. With respect to you creating your Amazon KDP and book images, particularly that you would want to insert into your books, uh, you could do a Google search for a simple phrase called royalty free images. Royalty free images. Search that phrase on Google, and Google will
Okay.
give you, I think, about say 10 sites where you can get images that you will use that you will not have any strike. Then, of course, with you using that image, let me show us how you. Okay, so let's go into a little bit of practical here. Okay, let me take other questions. I will just note all those down so that I will deal with them all put together. Then I'll show us here. Any other person with questions? Yes, Mr. Oguns.
Yeah. Thank you for my question is using website is it good to
Is it going to be what? Hello, Mr. Oguns. Okay, so I think we've lost your audio. Uh, Mr. Michael Adebayo, do you have a question? Your
what
end.
website for any amount of books or but
Sorry?
yes, sorry, did you get my question?
No, we didn't get you. We lost your audio a bit.
Yes, yes, sorry, I got my question. Yeah, I said concerning the website creation,
Yes.
um, do we have to create a website for all the books to like create? Like, let's say I'm creating multiple now. Can they be on one single website or do we have to be a website
Okay, that's just straightforward. Just one website can house a million books. Just one website, you can have a million books there, and you can promote all your books from just one single website. And also, for those who would say, I don't have money to create a website, creating a website is not complicated. And in this group, as much as possible, we will show you how to do that effortlessly. So please, uh, if you have, permit me to put it this blunt, this is a professional class. I'm not going to rub your head and tell you you're doing nice when you're not. If you do not have a website and you want to succeed in an online business, whatever that online business is, and especially for a business that is content creation like KDP, if you do not have a website, please go get one. It is not complicated to do. Get one. If you have challenge with respect to doing that, just communicate to us in the forum. We will more than help you. Okay. Incoming messages. Okay, so no problem. Okay. Any other person? I take your questions out. If you have any other questions, I'll be more than glad to take your questions.
Hello.
Yes,
This just remind me about this website issue. If you create a blog, is it equal to creating a website?
a blog is also a website. Often than not, your blog is a segment of your website.
Okay, you can have a blog and a website at the same time.
Yes, when they say a website, it's also having an element of a blog inside. Blog is only where you put some small content. A full website is where you can have your profile, portfolios, and all the things that you do and all the books that you've created. You can have that on your website. So, and of course, when
Okay,
we're
what?
talking website in this case, please do not use things like Blogger. No, use something like right now you're talking asana.com or something like that should be your website.
Okay,
Suleiman.ng should be your website, not
okay,
suleiman.blogger.com. No.
okay. But one more thing is what am I thinking? If you have let's say a website,
Yes.
is it if you have a website, is it necessary you have a blog, or if you have a website, you can just use everything in that website and leave the blog?
Okay. So for the benefit,
And one more
okay.
thing again, please.
Yeah.
Will you have us do like even a small video on how to go about this, please?
Okay, no problem. If the house is requesting for that, if a lot of people requesting for that, we'll do that.
Okay, okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Any other question? Mr.
Let me as well.
Okay, so Mr. Suleimanu, you have a question? Okay. All right. So I think we've been able to take everybody's questions. So if no question, let me just show us one easy way to simply get images and create a cover and just put it on Canva so that we have that to get started and so that we can move on so that this class doesn't get overly too long. I hope people are actually participating in this class and not just logged in and dropping their phone to one side because you will be doing yourself a lot of disservice. So let me switch into a different browser and get this done. Okay. Just a minute while I switch into a different browser and show us how to get this done. Okay. Okay. Enter screen. All right. So, okay. So, right. Let's get this happening. Okay. So, working with images, one of the first thing you want to do is have this platform open, which is called Canva. A lot of people use it. But of course, I will just show us how to create something very fast with it. And also one place you can get images is also Pixel. There is also Pixabay. There's a lot of them. So largely you can just go to Google and type in royalty-free images. Google will give you a lot of them. So let's say I want to write a book on, let's see, what title do we have there? Right, let's see. Hmm. Okay, let's get on the Amazon in itself. Okay, so and of course, when you're on Amazon and you want to start doing one of all the things that we talked about, which is keyword research, competition research, click on this drop down area and take this to the Kindle store so that you do not search directly. If you're searching directly, without doing that, you'll be searching the whole entire Amazon, and likely what you'll be having is in products. So I want to search on things around, let's say, men. So I can say search Kindle for men. And okay, so that I can see books around things for men. I will show us how to do competition research and all the rest of them. But first, let me just answer to the first question, which is how to do your cover design and also use images that are royalty free so that you do not have challenges with that. So I come to Pixabay and I say, oh, Pixel, and I say men. So the images for men shows up. Okay. Now, any images you use that you pick from the site are largely royalty-free images. You're not going to have issues with it. When it comes to your Amazon KDP, consider using images like this, that is actually not picking anybody's face. But even when it is picking a face, let me show us how to really manipulate the image because you are not the only person that. Ah, good. All right, so let's use this. An idea just came to my head. You know, we're talking about a book of marriage relationships. So let's deal with this. So, getting an image from Pixabay is you just simply selecting the image area and simply clicking on this icon here, which allows you to download the image onto your system. Now, I won't use this image like this and put it on my KDP. I will have issues if I do that. And so that I don't get issues with my KDP, I will go to the site called remove bg removebg.com. And so it is this, and I'll browse to my system, pick on the image that I just downloaded. And so this is if you're not a graphic designer and you do not know how to use Photoshop and all the rest of them, which you necessarily don't need to anyway. You can also do this in Canva, but I like doing this in this tool. So it will remove the background of the image for me, and I can tell it to, I can download the image directly already, and I can also tell it to edit because I want to do some few basic stuff with it. I can tell it give me colors because I want to put colors on it or something like that. And so as you can see, it has totally changed. If I want to ensure that it's having pictures, I can look at some few pictures here and adopt any picture that I would want to put there. You can select on it and it gives you something along whatever it is that you would want. Oh, okay, this is looking nice. So that's if you don't want it to have, if you want it to have a background. If you don't want a background, you can simply click on that and get out and download the image directly. So I've downloaded the image, so I'll go back into Canva and I'll say cover. In Canva, book cover. All right, so okay, so let me see an interesting book that I would. Okay, so let's use this. I select this as a style that I would want to use. Okay, so I would bring in my image. Okay, so the template opens and okay, so let me see what is the title of this our book. The Last Wedding. And I'm not sure if I need this guy. Okay, so I can delete this, bring this here. So I want to change this background to the image we had. Okay, so you click on upload and bring the image from your system, wherever it is you've saved it. I want to believe a lot of us already know how to do this, but for the benefit of those who possibly don't know how to, you allow Canva to upload the image and it drops it for you. And you bring in the image into your Canva environment. You can also snap it into the environment anyway so that it picks the background. Most often than not, when I'm using images and faces of people, I try not to show their face, so I can simply do something like this. So this becomes my book. I can also, since we're talking about wedding, I can come back here and say wedding. I can pick on any image relevant to that. And I add, oh, okay, this is nice. So, okay, so let's see. Let's pick on this image. I download, let's see some few things we can play with. I believe this is not anything difficult for those who have been playing with Amazon KDP, but for those who have not, and so whatever, you could write something. Now, of course, one interesting way you can also do if you're lacking what to write is okay. So I want a last wedding. Okay, so if I want to write something interesting to this, so this is where I would employ the services of my good old trusted engine, One Assistant. And I tell One Assistant in the direct area, write an attention grabbing introduction for this book entitled The Last Wedding. One Assistant to simply create for us. Okay, so I want to believe the house is following me. This is what we have right now. So for the benefit of the house, you can read what One Assistant just gave to us. And of course, at the same time, let me see, I can also have Word also read it out to us. So for those who are not able to see what is there, I've already posted it on the group. Okay, so do you like the caption that was just created for us?
The Last Wedding is a gripping tale of love, loss, and betrayal. When best friends Sarah and Emily get married, they have no idea that their friendship will be put to the ultimate test. As Sarah's marriage begins to unravel, she finds herself turning to Emily for support. But when Sarah's husband is unfaithful, Emily is forced to choose between her friend and her own husband. The Last Wedding is a heart-wrenching story of friendship, love, and betrayal.
Of course, you're better off putting this on a card so that it's easy for anyone to be able to see it. And when you're writing, okay, so let's pull on cards. so come to the front. Bring to the front. Okay, so let's make the sky dark image. And when you write, please ensure that you've chosen fonts. I'm just doing this just to give us some few trail as regarding what we're working on. I want to believe everyone here that is working with KDP, you're familiar with all this. So this becomes your book cover. We're done. And you're able to post this up. So what does someone have to say about the last wedding? At least I've given everybody a short story. Hello, house. Before I go ahead, yes, Mr. Okay, Jessica John. Yes, if you're raising your hand, let me have your attention. Okay, Mr. Oguns. Okay.
Um, for concerning one, one account,
Yes.
what what is the different
What is what?
description is good. It's not fine. Really, what
That would be a function of how you've explained the instruction to one assistant. If you carefully explain your instruction correctly, it will understand what you're trying to say and give you an appropriate output. If it does not understand what you're trying to say, it will give you what it thinks you're trying to say.
another after put this banner
Yes.
together with one page.
Yes.
Is this how we should see it, or aren't we supposed to have a back page?
Of course, you will have a back cover, you have a back page. I only showed us this just to give us an initial because of someone that called earlier and was asking about how to get an image and all the rest of them. So I just made this short so that we get a drift of it. Okay, good. Yes, I believe this is Missy Bryan.
Yeah, I have a question.
Please go ahead.
I attended your lectures last Sunday,
Okay.
and you talked about one assistant
Yeah.
when giving idea about how to generate content.
Yes.
Yeah, but then I really want to access one assistant through Google, but then the site is not coming up.
Mm.
Or is it a website or anything?
Okay, so let me just copy the URL for you. One Assistant is just oneassistant.com. You need not access it from Google. But of course, for the benefit of the house, this is One Assistant. I just copied it and put it into the group right now.
Yeah, so thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay, so for instance, I want to write a book, a complete book. I can write a complete book from beginning to the end, even if the book has, say, 10 chapters. I can write it in One Assistant in less than, okay, let me just say in less than 2 hours. Is a function of have you mapped out all the subtopic, the subtitles you want to cover, or your intriguing areas, whatever it is you want to cover. So let's say, for instance, I pick on this book on Amazon here, for example, The Richest Man in Babylon, an interesting book. In fact, I can say I can tell One Assistant to write my own version of this book. Because okay, so let's say I just pick this for instance. And so this is the title of what I want to write, for instance. Okay, so I wouldn't write this exactly. This is The Richest Man in Babylon. So I know this is a popular book, and if I write on this, it will be infringing on this copyright. So I would say something like, oh, okay. Since this is one concept that we all like in Nigeria, everywhere globally. So let's see. I can use Babylon as so I can create something, say, around making money in Babylon for the next generation. Now, so that's my book title. So let's say, for instance, that's the book title. Since everybody likes the concept of making money, making money, making money. Right. So I like money. Don't get me misconstrued, but I believe you need to do solve problem and you make money. Okay, so these are some of the few things I will check. I want to write a book around this. So what did they do? They have an image of an historical place. Okay, so I'm assuming this is the author's name. Okay, this is the title, and they have a caption here. So I can also do this. Click on the book, and where's that? Where's that guy? So, okay. Oh, okay. Audio. Yeah, I will show us also how to create audio with you can turn your book into audio so that you're better. Uh, you're doubling your chances of income generation. Okay, so this is the book description. Okay, so let me show us some few things here. Take note of this place, bestseller ranking. Take note of it. This place I've highlighted, bestseller ranking. But anyway, so that we are not everywhere. We want to write a book called Making Money Online in Babylon. So I want to use one assistant to write that book. Making Money Online in Babylon for the next generation. I give it the title. If you want it to generate title for you, you can tell one assistant to generate title for you by simply giving it a key concept, making money in Babylon. Okay, so let me say I erase some of all this. In fact, let me just say making money is what I want. So I'll say, okay, I want to use English, so generate for me titles. So one assistant will look this up and generate from me titles, how to make money, tips for boosting income, ways to make an extra cash. This could be an interesting topic I want to write on. Okay, so I pick on that, ways to earn extra cash. Okay, so write an extract for me. An extract could be just something that is just a line, which is also in content creation for those having websites. It's also called meta description. So you can tell it, all right, generate that. So looking to make money, more easy cash, blah, 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 blah. So you have all this. So I can tell it, all right, so continue. Now can tell it, okay, so this is the description. I need you to use a personal experience to generate me an introduction for my book. So it gives me an introduction. So introduction written for my book. And I continue. If I don't like the introduction, I can click on generate again to give me another introduction. So I can click on continue if I want. Then of course I can now tell it what are all the chapters of the book I want to cover. So I'll tell it I prefer to type it. So let's see what are the chapters we want to do. Making money online with Instagram. Making money online with Facebook. making money online with TikTok, making money online with WhatsApp, making money online with Amazon KDP, making money online with CPA marketing, and the list goes on. So I put in there all my subtitle of my book that I want to write. In fact, let me do this. 6 effective strategy for making money online. Okay, so let's do like this. So all these are chapters in my book. I'm combining them off my next screen. So that this becomes relatively a bit easy for us. Okay, so let me add what I've combined here. Okay, so this, since my book is about okay, so in this case it should be like 6 ways or something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so 5. Okay, I don't even need to put 5. I can just say ways of earning extra cash. Okay, so these are the subtopic in my book. And so I tell it that's what I want you to write on. And it maps it and tell me these are the things it's going to cover in the book. And I tell it, yes, please go ahead and cover it. Now, you working with one assistant in this way is a way for you to generate those short, quick book or even detailed book that I talked about earlier that you're able to also give out as a lead funnel, something short that you know that everybody is searching for, that in turn they give you their emails, and you're also able to now use that to also market your books in a large way so that you get more sales. Is it okay, someone is asking a question. Mr. Oguns, you said is it a machine? What's your question? I don't understand your question. Okay, I think I'm having internet issues. Okay, so let me switch over to that so that I can have this created. All right, well, so I hope I'm able to carry everybody along. Wow, we've passed the time. I need to jump onto another training. So we will continue this Amazon KDP class next week, Saturday, same time, 1 p.m. prompt. Please do endeavor to notify other people, share it, and at least let's try and benefit some other people that would also find this useful. And of course, take this serious. If this is something serious you would want, please take it serious so that you can get more result with it. Feel free to join us on the in the Telegram group. Drop your message if you're used to the Telegram area, and if it is online forum you want to, drop your question there. I will be more than willing to guide you through anything you would want, and we'll take it from there. So, any questions before I exit? Because I also need to get onto another training.
All right, so thank you very much, sir. I believe that it was quite an impactful session for everybody. Guys, if you stayed from the beginning to up to this point, I want to say a really thank you. But thank you to yourself, because I know that everything you have gotten here, even if it's me, I would have charged you so much money. The amount of value you got in. I honestly thought that this class was going to be just 1 hour, but we extended to up to 2 hours. And I just want to say a very big kudos to everybody who have been here. I see how Ibrahim was the person that even pushed more for us to concentrate this way, and I see that she was here till the end of this session. Well done. So guys, I see somebody's raising up their hand. Soft voice zone. Do you have a question or something? Because we're looking at rounding up this session right now.
Let's have your question if you do have soft voice on. Sir, I think who is that? Mr. Solo Manu I or something. You have a question?
I guess it was an error there. So we should look forward to rounding up. So guys, please, if you know that you actually got something from this, because I know you did, I'm going to send a link in the Telegram group so that you give us a feedback. Please, we would like to get feedback from you. Also about what you need us to improve on. But most importantly, the commitment from you to invite other people to join this session. Trust me for real that everything we are doing here, it's worth hundreds of dollars, but as you can see, we are giving out for free a lot of knowledge. So as you continue, there's going to be another session tomorrow, although it's not going to be directly to KDP, but also an impactful session that's going to also help you make money online. It's not just about the making of money, it's about building marketable data skills that can serve you for a long time. That's the goal of this entire training. Being able to know what skill that you are possessing and how you can exchange it for the long run. That's the goal. Yeah, it's not just about flaunting money in front of you. As you can see from the start to the end, we have not shown you anything about our dashboards and how much we have, because that's not the essence of this. Any good training I know that is set to impact you will put flaunting of money one side and teach you the real and tell you the whole truth the way.
Okay, Madam Ibrahim, I think you have a question.
It's not a question. Actually, I just want to thank you guys for taking our suggestion into consideration and creating a platform of KDP. Really, well, I cannot even express how happy.
Oh, thank you very much. We would appreciate. The only one thing everyone can really do for us is please share the word. We plan to ensure that yes, fam, we empower as many people as possible. So please, if there is anything we're asking you for, is share the word. Let's try and impact as many people as possible. Soft bio zone is like you have a question. Yes, go ahead, Mr. Is this soft bio zone? I don't know why you've. Okay, I'm guessing maybe this is an error if you don't have a question. Saint, please, can you go ahead?
We are running up right now. I hope to see every one of you by 4 p.m. tomorrow. 4 to 5, we are going to be having another session, but not for KDP. The next week again, same time by 1 p.m. on Saturday, we are continuing our lesson on KDP. Guys, just like I said again, I'm going to write a post both on the Facebook general community and also on the Telegram group for you to just give us your feedback. Tell us what you think we can improve upon. Tell us what aspect you think we should
also look out for, and then make us a commitment that you're going to invite another person the next week.
And most importantly, if you do not have plan to succeed, please can you not join the next class? If you do not have a legitimate intention to put everything you're being taught in this group to use so that you succeed, please do not join the next class. But if you have the legitimate intention to succeed, please do join us, share the word, let it go round, and we're committed to seeing everybody through. Saint, the floor is yours.
All right, so we call it again from here. We're doing the cutting, and if you can, please just take a screenshot of what's on your screen. Just take a screenshot and probably share it on the group. You can take a screenshot in our Facebook group. You can share it there in the Facebook group. We're going to approve it. Just tell us what you learned. That's just help us share the word. But right now, just what you are seeing on your screen right now, just take a screenshot of it and use that to make a post, both in the group on Facebook, even on Telegram. Just write 2 lines, 3 lines about what you have learned from this training.
Yeah, Saint, please create an hashtag for one assistant so that yes, for everybody can tag hashtag one assistant as they make their post.
Alright, great. Alright, great. So you just do that. You tag, and if you can also tag me, tag me and tag us, so that we are also going to see the post.
The post, yeah,
Share it everywhere.
we can.
So my hand is at every point is at said Amazon, so you can just use that. Just tag me, and I'm going to also share it on my own profiles too. So if there's nothing else from me again, I think we will end the session.
All right, thank you, everybody. I hope you go well and make money in your endeavors with respect to whether KDP or digital skill sets that you would want to endeavor on. So, all the best and make money. Thank you.
All right, bye everybody. Thank you.
Bye.